Greetings and salutations to all who are joining with us to celebrate MLK Day 2021. It is my distinct honor and privilege to be serving as one of the speakers for today's celebration. I want to say thank you to the committee for including me in this historic occasion and all those who will take the time to view each of the speakers' message. My hope is that something is said that will ignite the fire of service within you and allows you to find your place in a world that so desperately needs all of us to do our part. Again, thank you for being here. In 1957, to an audience in Montgomery, Alabama, Dr. King stated, which will become one of my favorite quotes, that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? This quote embodies what I am passionate about doing in this world, and that's advocating for, supporting, inspiring, and encouraging others. And as I reflect on where I am today and the challenges along the path, I cannot help but think about all those who advocated, supported, inspired, and encouraged me to this point. They were and are my community, and I know that beyond the shadow of a doubt, if it had not been for them, I would not be who or where I am today. So for the next few moments, I want to talk about the power, impact, and importance of community. Community is often thought of as a group of people living in the same place. But for the sake of truly understanding the power, impact, and importance of community, I want us to take a look beyond the confines of a neighborhood. After all, today's society has shown us that just because we live close together doesn't mean that we're close together. And all of our skin folk aren't necessarily our kinfolk. Coretta Scott King said, the greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Although COVID-19 has affected how we connect as a community, it has not diminished the importance of community. If anything else, it has opened our eyes to how valuable community really is. Being part of a community enables us to give support to other members, and by supporting, you help them become better people and feel better about themselves. With so much stress in the world we live in today, there has never been a more important time to help others struggling with their mental and physical well-being. It takes a village to raise a child is an African proverb that means that an entire community of people must interact with children for those children to experience and grow in a safe and healthy environment. Here are a few ways that you can support not only the children, but other members of your community. The first way is get involved as a volunteer. Volunteerism is a basic expression of human relationship. It is the principle of donating time and energy for the benefit of other people in the community as a social responsibility rather than for any financial reward. As you volunteer, you are making connections within your community that are influential, beneficial, supportive, encouraging, and sustaining. Think about the people who have volunteered in your life, who have helped you along the way. We all have a duty and a responsibility to help others just like we were guided along our own path. Again, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? The second thing you can do is help your neighbors. Charity starts at home and community starts with everyone you know around you. But how can you help someone you don't know? Take the time to get to know the people around you and see how you can help them. Dr. King said the true neighbor will risk his position, his prestige, and even his life for the welfare of others. Don't think of risk as a negative word in this sense. Think of it as a way to utilize your power, influence, and privilege to help someone else. That could be writing a letter of recommendation, making a phone call to the owner of a business or company on behalf of someone you know who's trying to find their way in the corporate world. It could be as simple as having a conversation to get to know a young person and what their goals are. Big or small, all of us can do something to help our neighbors and uplift our communities. It may be true that no one person can solve all the world's problems, but what you can do is make that little corner of the world where you live just a little bit better. The third thing that you can do is become a mentor. Maybe there is someone in your social circles or profession you would like to help along the way. They could really benefit from your skills, knowledge, and experience. In my own life, I've had some incredible mentors along my journey, men and women who entered my life when I needed them the most. While in graduate school, it was Dr. Kent Skinner guiding me as a soon to be young professional. During my early years in higher education, it was Robert Jones. Through my 14 years of service in the Arkansas American Legion Boy State program, and still, it is Robert Bryant Jr. showing me how to cultivate leaders through building relationships. And now, through transition and faith, it is Adrian Toney, who I affectionately refer to as Lady Elijah, who has taught me how to harness the power of my faith and walk boldly into my destiny. My life has greatly benefited from these individuals seeing something in me that I couldn't see in myself. They helped usher me into self actualization and empowered me to find my purpose. Being a part of a community allows us to feel a sense of connection. Members of socially connected communities are more likely to thrive. And research suggests that individuals who feel a sense of security, belonging, and trust in their community have a better health. People who don't feel connected are less inclined to act in healthy ways or work with others to promote well being for all. So, what are we doing to allow members of our communities to feel connected? Excuse me. Based on the news, one could conclude that we are doing absolutely nothing to promote connection within our community. Facebook keyboard wars and personal opinions have caused lifelong connections to dissipate. But we need connections that build valuable relationships and give us a deeper sense of belonging. In Paulo Coelho's book, The Olive, a man called Ali is in need of money and asks his boss to help him. His boss sets him a challenge. If he can spend all night at the top of a mountain, he will receive a great reward. If he fails, he will have to work for free. When he left the shop, Ali noticed that an icy wind was blowing. He felt afraid and decided to ask his best friend, Aidi, if he thought he was mad to accept the wager. After considering the matter for a moment, Aidi answered, "Don't worry, I'll help you. Tomorrow night, when you're sitting on top of the mountain, look straight ahead. I'll be on top of the mountain opposite, where I'll keep a fire burning all night for you. Look at the fire and think of our friendship, and that will keep you warm. You'll make it through the night, and afterward, I'll ask you for something in return." Ali won the wager, got the money, and went to his friend's house. "You said you wanted some sort of payment in return." Aidi said, "Yes, but it isn't money. Promise that if ever a cold wind blows through my life, you will light the fire of friendship for me." You see, a connection was made that forged a valuable relationship which produced a deeper sense of belonging. That is the transformative power of community. So today, as we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King, I implore you to examine your opportunities to contribute to your communities so that the fire of friendship never burns out. In the words of Dr. King, we must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?